Boys, let's get to it.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show. Lights, camera, action.
Everybody, we are the Three Amigos and a Podcast. Season 2, episode 15, episode 67 going on, so that's pretty good.
Good old 67.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite numbers.
We're getting close to your favorite number.
That reminds me of that movie.
What number is that, Ryan?
You
You gotta think about it for a little bit.
What's 7 and 2? What's 7 plus 2?
9.
Right.
So
I was going to say something inappropriate. I'm not going to. But
79.
Yep. Bingo.
Cool. Got it.
Like the 69 reminded me of that 30 minutes or less movie.
Yeah.
When it's like
it's my favorite sexual position.
Help me out of the bomb. How'd you remember the password? It was easy.
I never saw that movie.
It was all right. It was
it was okay.
It was okay. But anyways, how's you guys' week going?
Pretty good. It's Wednesday.
Oh, I almost forgot. We got to start off this show by giving Enrique a huge shout out.
Yeah.
So Enrique with the All Bad podcast went on a trip to Japan.
Looked
like he had a great time.
Yeah, it did.
Brought us back some Kirin whiskey.
Yeah,
that's right.
Thanks, Enrique.
It's delicious.
Pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Yes, much appreciated.
I'm a huge fan of Japanese whiskeys. Obviously, I have some, but yeah.
Makes sense.
It's good. Does make sense. Got to take it back to the...
He's saving us on some calories because normally we drink like a beer or something, so, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Got to watch our girlish figure.
Clear alcohols for white women on diets.
White women on diets.
But anyway, so week was good?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's going well so far.
Brandon, week was good?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
I mean...
any highlights? You guys got anything big? I mean, we're only 2 minutes in. We got to kind of vamp a little bit.
Yeah, I mean... I can start.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Padre game on Friday. That was fun until it wasn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Padres did not show up.
Did you do your classic bottle of wine?
We did. If you bring your carafe in...
Do you want to tell us how great of a deal it is?
It's a freaking killer deal. You save some money. Get a nice little buzz.
There you go.
But... yeah, half off everything at the store. The temptation was really strong to buy a Manny Machado jersey.
Don't do it yet.
But I'm holding out for Tatis.
New jerseys.
Anyways. Well, I'm holding out for Tatis regardless. Like
New jerseys next year. I know it's been tough.
But the jerseys would have been like, I think, was it $60, $70?
Oh, that's tough.
That was like a really good deal on that jersey, you know.
Yeah.
But ended up getting like a nice shirt. That was pretty cool. It was just a bummer that the team didn't show up. And honestly, that was Andy Green's last game as a manager of the Padres, too.
Yep.
That's how badly they stunk up the joint.
Sayonara, Andy Green.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Aside from the Padre game, there's like a street fair by my house. Went to that. It was pretty fun. Got one of these shirts. It's like this like artist who comes to like all the different fairs. He does like a Day of the Dead art. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
But did that, and then my sister's leaving for Hawaii, or she left for Hawaii on Monday, and we went to the Grass Skirt, which is like a speakeasy in like
Yeah, PB. Been there.
PB.
I have been to that one. I had to walk in through this weird thing, and they made me answer a riddle to get in there.
They made you ask a riddle?
I don't get it, man.
Wait, getting in was like a riddle, or they
No,
asked you a riddle?
They asked me a riddle. They
That's
said,
weird.
What is... Oh, shit. Or I said, what has 2 arms and no legs? Everybody else said a mermaid. I said a clock. I was right.
Yeah, 2 arms and no legs. Mermaids
Nice.
have arms.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 arms, no legs.
No
Sorry.
legs. They have
Yeah.
a tail, I
Yeah.
guess.
Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention. But
Yeah, I mean, it was cool little vibe there.
Yeah, the drinks are fun.
Yeah, it was like a when they did like the Scorpion Bowls, they had like smoke coming out of.
Yeah,
like,
we did one of those
yeah.
ones.
yeah.
It was a cool little trip. Got to spend some time with the sister, and then yeah, had a good time at the fair. That's
It's just
about
like,
it
it
for me.
reminds me of Castaway every time you guys like go get Hawaiian food. when your sister comes into town.
That's
Like,
right.
you remember Castaway? Like they bring out all the seafood.
She
when he
wants
comes
it
back?
though. That's the weird thing.
I know. It's just funny to me.
It's like, does
I
she even
think
live?
it's-
Does she even live in Hawaii? You
That's
know?
what I'm thinking. Like, God. Well,
Wouldn't
she
you be
said she's
tired
not
of
coming
this?
back this year, so
She's
yeah.
not.
Yeah, no, that was it.
Oh,
like
oh
she's-
yeah, we're in freaking September though.
So
So no Christmas, huh?
no Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yikes.
But she's had she's got a problem with her knee.
Oh yeah.
And so she's been going out because they don't really have any good like specialists on the island. So she's been coming out and they did like an MRI on her knee and stuff.
Hopefully
but,
she gets better.
Yeah.
We will not be going to Indiana this Christmas.
No? Are they coming out here?
No.
Huh?
Nope. First Christmas as a married couple, we're gonna
yeah.
be here.
Very nice. You
What
guys gonna
about,
get one
what
of
about a
those
nice little
cute
Hawaii
ornaments?
trip? You know.
What's that?
Oh, I got your attention.
What'd you say though?
So how about a nice Hawaii trip?
We're going in September of next year. So actually, we'll be there a year from today.
This is the time to go because the tickets are really affordable.
Yeah, our vacation club, we're gonna be getting a pretty nice room out there on the golf course. Our flights are paid for, well, we're not paying for them, but they're comped. Thank you, Delta. But yeah, we'll be doing that. We're going to Orlando in February for my birthday. I kind of told Shaylee we're swapping birthdays because I have really no interest in going to Disney World for my birthday. So I said, you can have February, I'll take April.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's fair. Yeah, well,
What about you, Dino?
My weekend was good. Like Brandon said, went to the Padre game too. Went with my dad's work, so that was nice up on the Western Metal Building, which was cool. Then Saturday had to be up early, did a community garage sale, sold
That's
some
right.
stuff, so it was nice. And yeah, just kind
Was
of
it a successful garage sale?
It was, yeah. Got a lot of stuff out, and then the rest just went to Goodwill as a donation. So yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, man, let's
Nice.
cleared out a bunch of shit.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, well, before we get into all of the podcast stuff, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What is your favorite football play? Not like historical play, not like, the catch or like, the Marshawn
Like play
Lynch
call?
run. Like,
Like-
what's your favorite, play?
Um,
Not like play call. It could be like a block kick or like, a forced
I
fumble.
get
like-
what you're saying. Like, yeah. I don't know. There's something about a pick six that's pretty sick. Like, just
Yeah, I was gonna say a pick
like
six.
I like when a corner cuts the route on the receiver and just
and just
There's
takes
just
off.
nobody-
takes off,
yeah.
and there's nobody else going to touch that dude.
And
Yeah.
it's so funny. Like, I totally agree. And it's from both sides, too, because as if your team's on offense and they throw a pick and you're just kind of like sitting there like, is there a flag? Please be a flag because
Yeah.
nobody's
Yeah,
going to
and
touch him.
then you got to go right back out there to go fix your
Yep.
big ass mistake just
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. No,
Like I got to score on this drive to make up for what I just did.
Yeah. I'd say a pick six.
I don't know. I was like thinking about it, and I think what it's a tie between two, right? It's tied between like I guess it'd be like a kick six, like a field goal that doesn't make it, like an Antonio Cromartie run it, take it back to the house.
Yeah.
That's exciting, or any kind of like punt return for a touchdown.
I was gonna say punt return would be like my runner up pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Punt
those are-
returns are exciting. Kick returns just don't happen anymore. We saw our first one. The guy from USD,
Mhm.
Agnew, he had our first one in like over a year.
Yeah, it was like
And
last year there was
Is that
none or something.
on Detroit, right? Is
Yeah,
that what you're
yep.
talking about?
Yeah, he was actually getting in trouble too for like muffing a bunch of kicks too. So I was excited to see him take
Show
one to
out.
the house.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always nice when you get that good San Diego representation.
Plus, it's like just exciting to see.
Yeah, in
It
general.
really just like long touchdowns are exciting to see.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like anything that changes momentum.
that's why I like the pick six because it's like you're like whether you're driving or you're not,
Yeah.
you have the ball and like you're hoping that you're gonna get in range to score and
One guy changes
immediately-
everything.
Yep.
What's the best pick six though? Like a DB linebacker or like a big old D lineman?
I think like the slot corner. I think
Yeah.
that one's the best. Was like
Yeah.
saying that they come
Like the
across
nickel
like
or something.
yeah, just the ones where like the quarterback just doesn't see him. So like you could say the same for a linebacker too, but the ones where they just come out of nowhere and then it's just green grass in front of them.
Yeah.
And
We're playing in
nobody's
Boise
even
blue
close to
turf.
touching them within like 15 yards, basically.
I will say it's always nice to see one of those big guys up front, like just get their giant paws up and
I
stumble
remember
in the
Vince
end zone.
Wilfork had that one. Remember that?
Yeah,
That's who I think of when I think of those big linemen.
yeah,
The strip sack's always cool too. The
Yeah.
strip sack's always fun to watch.
yeah. I also think what's fun, if executed properly, is the hook and ladder.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
offensive play?
flea flicker.
flea flicker
They've
was
been doing a lot of flea flickers.
flea
this year.
flicker was my pick. If it was just like you're calling up an offensive play, that would be my
Yeah.
my pick for
Flea,
offensive
flea
play.
flickers, like when it's run. I saw who was it? It was a college team that ran one, and they ran it deep into their they were on their 3-yard line,
Yeah,
and you do not see flea flickers run in your own end zone ever. And I think that's why they did it.
So ballsy.
Yeah, and it was a 97-yard touchdown. It was incredible.
Jesus. Well, all right. Let's do some NFL stuff leading in. NFL Week 3. I mean, we had some pretty crazy storylines going on. I think the biggest has to come out of New York, though. Obviously, Daniel Jones starting, Eli sitting. He has an amazing day.
I feel like everybody whether you record podcasts, if you record on a professional media,
Yeah.
anybody owes Daniel Jones a formal apology.
Dude,
Everyone.
everyone's been
Everyone.
apologizing. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
I didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. I will grant it. It's one game.
One
Mhm.
game.
It's very early. You know what I mean? Like,
But
any
his-
given Sunday.
His poise was, I mean, he literally carried that team.
Yeah. I mean, without Saquon.
In the second
Yeah.
half, definitely.
And I will say, Giants still aren't a good complete ball club because they should have lost that game.
Yes, they missed a chip shot.
Yeah. Yep. But, I mean, for a rookie
You
quarterback to go in there, I mean, at the end of the day, all that matters is what it says in the scorebook. They
Yeah.
won the game.
but I mean, it was an impressive performance nonetheless. And,
Yeah,
Yeah, that 4th down play where he just takes it up the middle.
yeah.
that was
That's
For
what's
that
hard to
go-ahead touchdown?
anytime there's a change in quarterback, we used to see it a lot with Doug Flutie, like that change of pace person that you just, as a defense, you're not prepared for completely. And even if they have the slightest ability to move, it's not
Yeah.
something you're prepared for. And I don't think anybody thought, oh, Daniel Jones is going to beat us with our legs this week. And he did twice.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the no scouting report. So, but good for him. And then also big headline out of New York, Saquon Barkley, high ankle sprain, out for, 6 to 8?
6 to 8 weeks.
So,
poor
I mean,
man. That one hurts.
that's tough. Yeah. That hurts.
Nobody likes to see that.
On the bad side, I think is Bruce Arians with the Cardinals now?
No,
no,
he's the Bucks.
with the Bucks. No, who am I
Yeah.
thinking of? Was it him that they took that late penalty to put? Yeah, it was the Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, to put their kicker into he thought a better position if he took a 5-yard penalty,
Yeah.
which is a tough thing to call. So that's rough.
I couldn't believe that kicker missed that kick, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah.
I felt like he got the yips because he already saw the storyline coming. Daniel
Yep.
Jones carried his team back, put the team on his back.
Put his team on his back, though. But yeah, let's see what else. We had the Cowboys doing, what everyone thought they were going to do to the Dolphins.
The boys are who we thought they were.
Yeah. Patriots steamrolling over the Jets. I think the toughest game was the Chargers and the Texans.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of penalties in that game. Chargers still can't figure it out in the second half. I think they've been outscored in the second half of every game they've played. Can't learn how to close teams out, and they definitely had their opportunities. Texans had a missed field goal at the end of the first half, would have put the game even closer, and then at the end would have put it even further out of reach. But yeah, still trying to get it together on offense. You can kind of tell. Austin Eckler's a great running back. Justin Jackson's been playing phenomenally, but they're missing Melvin Gordon. You can tell. Not having that little handcuff person that Rivers can find, knows where he's going to be. And then obviously the loss of Hunter Henry is pretty huge for them.
Yeah.
But Texans showed up, man. They're a good football team. They play well on both sides of the ball. Defense, they attack very well. They got after Rivers. I think the biggest thing you're seeing with that offensive line is Trent Scott cannot block. And Rivers has just been having to. I mean, I saw him run 3 times in that game, and that's never a good sign.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the other game and like the other storyline that people aren't giving respect to are Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen over with the Panthers. I mean, he had a day, 4 touchdowns.
He's a good quarterback, man.
Yeah.
He's a good quarterback. And it shouldn't be a surprise to everybody anymore because every opportunity that he's gotten when Cam's been out, he's played well.
Yeah, I agree. And it's crazy, though, because Cam is clearly the better athlete, but the game planning that they have with Cam in just isn't working.
You're absolutely right. Like, I was just going to say the same thing. I think that they overthink the game plan with Cam Newton in, and it's simplified when they have Kyle Allen, and it works better. I mean, they're there because they're the best, but game planning for the right team at the right moment goes a lot further than playing towards your athletes. And, we've seen, I mean, every single football player out there is a good football player. They're all there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And, when they get Cam in there, it's a bunch of read options. It's plays that can work huge in your favor or drastically not in your favor. Defensive players are smarter, faster, stronger than they've ever been, and the whole read option thing just doesn't work as well as it used to be.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And Cam's getting older. He's not as fast as he was, And
he doesn't seem like he's 100% either.
No, he's been battling injury since before the year started.
Yeah, for a while.
Mm.
But I guess we'll just continue on the place starters, if you will. Teddy Bridgewater with the Saints leads them to a victory over the Seahawks.
Told you guys.
Yeah,
that was
Told you.
Teddy. I mean,
Saints are
Teddy
a
is.
complete ball club, man.
And they went out and they smacked around the Seahawks, who are also a good ball club.
Yeah, they did.
And I mean, they're not going to miss a beat. Obviously, Drew Brees is the starter of that team whenever he's healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Until he can't go anymore, you give the ball back to him. But Teddy did exactly what they wanted him to do. He went out there, he managed the game, put the ball in the hands of the players that needed to make plays. Now he's got more weapons.
It just seems so distant, and honestly,
well, it's hard when a player goes out with that kind of injury. You really never know what kind of person, if they're going to be hesitant when they come back.
Yeah, if they're going to be the same player.
Yeah, it's really hard to see. And we do live in a day and age where sports medicine is better than it's ever been. So I think we need to give a lot of credit to these doctors and these athletic trainers that go out there and they put these athletes in a position to be able to succeed and have confidence in their ability, what they used to be able to do.
Oh, definitely.
Because even with AP, I mean, we saw him go down with a season-ending ACL tear. He was back within 9 months and he lit the NFL on fire.
Yeah.
So I mean, same could be said about Peyton Manning and even Andrew Luck. Unfortunately, injuries got the best of him, but it's impressive when you can see a player come out there that has been through the worst in their profession.
Yeah, no, I agree. Then the last one, we had Mason Rudolph getting his start for the Steelers, and they gave the 49ers a run for their money. So, he didn't have as good of a day.
No, he made a couple key mistakes, but he kept them in a position to win.
Yeah, but the one thing that's different with the Steelers than with the other teams that we had mentioned is the Steelers don't really have a run game. James Conner's kind of taking a step back this year, starting off slow. So
should have paid Le'Veon Bell.
They should have. They really should have.
I mean, God. I think after this whole damn Antonio Brown debacle, the soap opera that is that man's career, the one thing that I think that if the Pittsburgh Steelers could go back and fix would be to pay Le'Veon Bell. Because I mean, you're even seeing it with the Jets. Obviously, they're not putting.
Dude, if I'm Le'Veon Bell, I'm more mad at Antonio Brown than I am at the Steelers. It's probably his damn fault that they didn't have the time to focus on, contract negotiation or like trying to do this whole type of thing.
They paid Antonio Brown.
He's the squeaky wheel. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus.
No, I agree. It's that team would be in a lot better position to win if Le'Veon Bell was still on that team.
Yeah. So yeah, before Ryan, I'll let you take over more football. I just want to ask you guys the one question of, like, I love this time of year. It's like, obviously bye weeks are super close now. I think we have 2 teams on bye in week 4, so it's just always fun to see like what teams are going to stay undefeated and what teams are going to go defeated. So you guys got the list in front of you, but the list is undefeated Pats, Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys, Rams, 49ers, and Packers. Of those, is 7. Who's going to be?
It's the Patriots that are going to be undefeated.
There's no
it's not
dispute.
it's not even a discussion. If you look at their schedule, who they have going for them for the next few weeks, it's a cakewalk. Obviously, there's a couple trap games in there, and we've discussed that. But if you're just looking based off strength of schedule, without a doubt.
I mean, I agree with you. Obviously, the Patriots, they have the firepower to do it. But, like, strength of schedule-wise, I look at a team like the 49ers, and they have some pretty, like, for a lot of teams, it'd be a cakewalk.
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean?
They got to go to
like the Rams would be tough.
Well, they got to in prime time at home. They have to beat the Browns, and then then the Rams. Panthers aren't scrubs. I mean, I would give them second fiddle, but to get through the Rams would be tough.
The Patriots have just, in my opinion, just been playing on another level, though. Like, they've been just blowing out each team. It hasn't even been close.
And look at this. So they got the Bills.
I agree.
If they can get through the Bills, who are also an undefeated team, they have the Redskins, they have the Giants, they have the Jets, they have the Browns.
Yeah.
And then Miami's just, God, they're just an awful team. That's definitely my pick for the team that's just going to stay.
That 9 through 14 is going to be tough.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, Ravens, Eagles,
I'm not
Cowboys,
saying any
Texans,
of these teams
Chiefs,
are going to be undefeated. I'm saying who the longest, I definitely would give the nod. I mean, if the team I would like to pick would be the Chiefs, but in Detroit, tough matchup. The Colts, their defense has taken some massive hits, but they're still a good football team. Then they got the Texans, the Broncos in Mile High, Green Bay, Minnesota. Those are some tough matchups.
I also think that the Cowboys, if they can get through this week at the Saints.
Yeah, the Cowboys would be my... If it wasn't for the Saints that are sitting right there this week, I would probably say the Cowboys. If you look at... Sorry, I'm trying to find what the freaking hell the Cowboys' damn schedule is. I can't find it. Oh, thank you. Saints, Packers. I mean, they're winnable games. Jets, Eagles. I don't think any of those are gimmies.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think either. Like, really, just because the Patriots, Brandon, like you had said, are playing on another level, they're probably the one that has the most gimmies. But
their strength of schedule in the first 8 games is just soft.
Yeah.
I mean, just within their division, they have the Jets and the Dolphins, who are 2 of the worst teams in football.
And I don't feel like the Patriots really are one of those teams that lack the discipline to not show up for a game that's a gimme.
Yeah, we've seen that countless times in the past of them running the score up.
Yeah,
so
they don't take their foot off the gas pedal.
I think the Dolphins. I mean,
I will say last week was an interesting choice by them, though. They pulled Brady?
Yeah,
which was different for what I mean. Like, I understand it; he's getting older. It makes sense, but it's not.
They pulled him and then they put him back in too. Did you notice that?
Did they?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
It was because they started getting close again. Ooh.
Yeah, he threw the backup quarterback threw a pick six, and then the next drive Brady was back in.
You know what's funny is on Twitter I was watching is that their backup is engaged to the daughter of the Jets owner. So it was
rubbing some salt in the wound.
Well, it was like, yeah, you're really sucking up to your future father-in-law when you let him when you throw a pick 6 to him.
Yeah,
I was like, that's good.
Yeah, I will actually say that I think that the Redskins are going to go winless longer than the Dolphins, though. And
that was going to be my next thing: is who's going to go defeated or winless the longest. So,
I think that the Redskins Chiefs, the Redskins Giants, that'll be a pretty good matchup this week.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Giants will actually pull that one off. It's in New York. And then they have the Patriots and then the Dolphins. So it'll kind of come down to that week. I feel like both those teams have an opportunity to be winless at that point.
Yeah, so it's right now we have the Redskins, Dolphins, Jets, Broncos, Bengals, and Steelers. I got to say, I think the Bengals, I really think, you know what I mean? I really think that the Bengals have a good chance at pulling this one off of just being winless. I mean,
yeah, well, they'll play the Steelers this week. That's tough because then they'll play the Cardinals.
It's Miami though, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just
I feel like the easiest decision is Miami.
They're just such a crappy
and
ball
nobody
club.
wants to be there. Like even
That's
if you look,
the hard part.
I retract mine. I'm going with the Dolphins because I listened to Jonathan Allen, the defensive tackle for the Redskins, and like they're still firing that freaking lineup there, and they have Dwayne Haskins that they can turn to if Case Keenum keeps putting up the ridiculous amounts of turnovers that he's been putting up.
Yeah.
So the Dolphins for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're in
I
a
think-
tough division for the most part.
Yeah,
I mean,
tough division.
outside the Jets, I think, and the Jets will get better once Sam Darnold comes back.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Jets don't have a bad defense, but the damn
Their
Dolphins,
offense is so bad, it just sets them
Dolphins
behind.
got bad everything.
The Dolphins are just the heavy favorites to be bad.
Yeah,
The only way I see them winning is honestly seeing what like was happening with the Cowboys in the game that happened this last weekend, where it seemed like the Cowboys were playing down to their competition. Somebody's sleeping on them. It's
for
really
sure.
the only way I see it.
For sure.
One last thing, Ryan, before I hand over the mic to you. Week 4, do we got a lock of the week? What's our
It's
pick?
got to be the Chargers.
It's got to be the Chargers. We just
got to be the
harped
Chargers.
on the Dolphins.
God damn it, man! If it's not the Chargers, like
I will say this: I'm not trying to put a hex on them. It's been a long time since they've won in Miami.
it has been. I know. I'm aware.
This is the real test to whether
It's
or not
hard to play in Miami. I get it.
This is the real test as to whether or not Miami is really just a crappy ball club.
All right, so if the Chargers aren't your pick, Brandon, who you going with? Take a quick look.
Yeah,
I mean,
let me get a look real quick.
if I'm probably gonna go Chiefs. You got to go Chiefs over Lions. I think that's.
I mean, I'm not gonna ever bet
That's a
against
good.
the Chiefs.
That's a good matchup
So are we doing
but-
lock of the week, or are we doing for your pick 'em?
for the pick 'em.
Okay, because I don't want to burn Patriots yet, because I feel like they're going to beat the Bills. But
I feel like this is the only time you're gonna get an opportunity for the Chargers to be a lock.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
I'm a little superstitious about this whole like going to Miami. If it was
Okay,
if
well,
it was
now
in San Diego
you're not making me feel good about
They're not
like
in
making a
San
pick.
Diego.
They're not in San Diego
or,
ever.
or in Los Angeles, let's see. Well, I don't want to burn any of the good ones because Rams. I feel like they're going to beat the Bucks.
The Rams might not be a bad pick though this week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what else?
Man, this is
So you're going Rams, right?
It's a lot tougher than I thought.
Brandon, you're saying
I really
Rams.
think the Steelers are going to win on Monday night, though. I think the Steelers over Bengals.
All right.
That's my pick.
Brandon's doing Steelers. I'm going with the Chiefs. Ryan, you got the Chargers.
Yeah.
We'll see how we do.
I'm pretty sure the Chargers will win, but I can't say it just because it's going to for sure jinx them.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see it, though, for once.
All right, Ryan. Well, what do you got? Take it over.
All right. So we're gonna do some fantasy and reality. Bring back this segment.
All right.
We're actually gonna start back in Los Angeles with the Chargers. So fantasy reality, the Chargers will miss the playoffs this year.
Oof.
Fantasy reality Chargers are going to miss the playoffs this year. Ooh,
Man.
that's a tough one.
AFC's kind of soft this year.
Yeah.
I don't think I know the percentages drop drastically when you go from 2-1 to 1-2.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at their schedule, and these are, for the most part, some winnable games. Bears, Packers, those are two tough back-to-back games. Obviously, you're playing the Chiefs twice. That's tough. But I feel like the rest of them, Vikings as well, those are like, I think those are 5 games where I'm kind of like, they're going to have to bring their A game. But the Chargers always play to their competition. That's how they've always been. And they'll
Maybe
knock off.
Don't pick the Dolphins. Or the
Yeah.
They honestly, they play down to their competition always. And I don't know if it's just lack of discipline. I don't watch the team as much as I used to. So maybe things are different than they used to be. But I mean, I'm only looking at like 5 games where I could theoretically see them possibly losing. So that would be like 9-7 at worst case scenario, in my opinion. I think they can make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this as a reality or a fantasy of them missing the playoffs, just because like the Colts do look good, and the AFC South is kind of difficult.
Yeah.
I guess AFC North is kind of opening up. It's not as as tight as we all thought it was going to be, with like the Steelers involved and the Browns kind of look bad.
Well,
so yeah, I gotta say,
I'm gonna agree with you guys too. One main reason is that Derwin James will be back at some point this year. Melvin Gordon reported for he's coming tomorrow, so he won't be playing this week, but he'll be playing next week. So that'll bring another weapon back to that offense. I think that when it comes down to it, I don't want to bet against Phillip Rivers with the amount of weapons that he has.
With you mentioned Melvin Gordon coming back, we didn't really touch on it very much, but do you think that this is actually, obviously he's coming back because if he doesn't play his 8 games, he doesn't get the option to become a free agent at the end of the year. But do you think that he's actually going to be utilized in this offense, or do you think it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I'm coming back, but like don't use me kind of thing? You know what I mean? Like, do you think there's any talks of that, of like, don't use me, I'm going to get hurt?
I don't think it's that kind of conversation, but I do think that Austin Eckler has solidified his role with the Chargers
as a starter.
Not as the starter, but as a weapon. Mm-hmm. And I think they ran it I think this is the biggest factor that we've been missing out on with the Chargers, is that last year when they didn't have Hunter Henry, it's not that they bulked up on multiple tight ends, but very frequently they ran 2 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Very frequently. So I think that having Melvin Gordon, like, he's going to see, a starting position. He's going to see a starting role. Yeah. But I still think that they're going to utilize Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler more dominantly than Melvin Gordon.
Okay.
I could see a hot hand approach a little bit too on some of the carries. Yeah. It's one of those things where the Chargers are looking at him as he's no longer an asset for the ball club, and they could just run him as much as they want for the most part.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously,
and they have the option to tag him at the end of the year too, if they still can't agree on a contract.
Yeah,
but I do think that he's going to get paid. I don't
somewhere or with the Chargers.
I think the Chargers are going to end up paying him. I don't think that he's going to end up hitting free agency. That's just my personal opinion. Or they'll franchise tag him until they don't want him anymore. Next
Hold
fantasy
on.
reality.
Hold on. I hit a button. Did I hit? Okay, go.
All right. Number 2 on fantasy reality NFL edition. Jalen Ramsey will remain on the Jaguars.
I'm going to say that this is reality. I know there's been a lot of talks of him. He said he was sick, so he missed out on practice. Then he was like, I hurt my back.
Today it was the birth of his child.
He left. But I think it's just a lot of like, I don't know if it's just him being able to do what he wants. I think that he's too valuable to that ball club. You know what I mean? Like, them losing him is more detrimental than him not being at practice. Like, I think he'll still playing games on Sunday, regardless of what his excuses are. And these excuses seem to be more for like the media to like throw the media off than actually an internal struggle like we saw last year in Pittsburgh with like
money talks too. So like I feel like the Jags could offer him just this insane extension and he would accept it. Obviously, if somebody's offering you a bunch of money, like, okay, these people like me. Yeah. And then obviously you want to keep your players happy, so I could see some personnel decisions.
I was going to say, it seems like his biggest beef is with the front office general manager. He used to be the head coach for the Giants. What the hell's his name?
Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin. It seems like that's his biggest issue. I'd see Tom Coughlin going before Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I think that this is one of the strangest situations when you talk about a player and being in their like environment. This dude went to Florida State. He's from Florida. He's playing in the same state where he grew up. Like, you have to beyond piss this dude off for him to not want to play for your team anymore.
Exactly.
So I think when it's all said and done, the drama gets worked out. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be like the Giants or the Steelers. I think they're a no-nonsense kind of ball club, and they'll get this taken care of. They want him.
I hope so, man. That ball club deserves a winner.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do one of these.
Just do them both.
Okay. Well, the more important one, I'll go with. Lamar Jackson will win AFC MVP.
Do they do it by
conference? I'm thinking Lamar Jackson will win MVP this year. Because they do MVP? AFC Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah.
So
Offensive Player of the Year. Right?
I'm going to say MVP for the league.
I'm going to take that as a heavy reality.
Wow.
I think he got him on his fantasy team.
Got him on a fantasy team. Dude, that dude's a human highlight reel. They cannot stop talking about him everywhere that you're looking on, like ESPN, like NFL Red Zone.
It's the same hype that Mahomes had last year.
Exactly, and it's all about the media stream that you have. And this guy, 2 Heisman trophies, right? Or no, one, and then he got beat out. Was a favorite for his second. Obviously, well,
he should have won 2. Mayfield won the second one.
But won his freshman year. He's always been known as like a scrambling quarterback. People called him a running back. This year, he's showing off his arm, but he still has those exciting plays with his legs. So I find it hard for him to fall out of the media's favor.
I think it's a fantasy. I don't see that coming to fruition. While I do think, obviously he's the hot new item right now. He's killing it this year, and generally voters tend to go with the new guy as opposed to the incumbent. But it's Pat Mahomes, man. That dude's just on another level. I think that guy is just honestly just the impact he makes. Not taking anything away from Lamar Jackson, because I think both of them are playing out of their minds. I just see it translating throughout the course of the season better with Pat Mahomes over Lamar Jackson.
My only thing with saying that it's not going to be Pat Mahomes is just because I don't think the people want
the NFL rarely goes with repeats.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't happen often. I agree with that.
They want to please their fan base, so I don't think they're going to do a repeat. Not taking away from what Mahomes does, but he's also making a lot of mistakes that people thought were cool, like his no-look passes. Like he's made 2 bad throws when he tries to no-look pass already, and it's like those are things that are getting old.
I'm gonna go with reality on this one. I think that the hype alone, the only area that Patrick Mahomes is going to have an opportunity to beat this in is that he has more primetime game options. So that's more media outlook for him to see. But Lamar Jackson's getting followed around like a freaking or like a Hollywood star right now, and everybody is just eating it up. If he continues to not turn the ball over, that's going to be the biggest thing. If he keeps lighting it up with his legs and making exciting plays, and there's no way he doesn't win MVP.
Plus, it's hard not to just see his development from year one. You know what I mean? Like, see how big of a step he's taken so far. It's hard to be like, I don't know.
Yeah. So who you guys want? You want Jay Gruden or do you want Mike Tomlin? Just tell me which one you want.
Mike Tomlin.
Okay.
Oh, no,
so
I just wanted Jay Gruden.
All right, I'll do both. Well,
I thought you were saying which coach would I rather have.
I'll combo these into
I definitely would take Mike Tomlin.
I think I know your fantasy reality, and I think it's a heavy reality that John Gruden's out as Jay Gruden's out as the Redskins
I'll do
head
both.
coach.
So Jay Gruden and Mike Tomlin will be the 2 head coaches that are fired first this year.
I think both of these organizations are not prone to firing mid-season, but I think if one team's going to do it, it's going to be the Redskins.
Okay.
100% agree. Honestly, Mike Tomlin, he's kind of just got carte blanche there. I feel like he can do whatever he wants.
He's like the Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, he's Marvin Lewis.
Damn.
He's Marvin Lewis, but accomplished Marvin Lewis.
Yeah.
He's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm like, that's disrespectful to even put him in the same category.
Marvin Lewis never won a playoff game.
Well, no, I'm not saying.
I know what you mean.
But I know what you meant, where he just wouldn't. Yeah,
like 18 years with a not winning franchise, like you do whatever you want.
No,
he's
not one playoff.
Honestly, you can't find there's Tomlin, in my opinion, still like he's probably a top 5, top 10 coach in this league.
I think so too. I think you get to a point though where your team's no longer succeeding, especially in a city like Pittsburgh,
where the pressure starts heating up.
Where you got to make changes, and I think that we're getting close. And if they continue to lose, there's no way he keeps his job. I mean, it's a culture of winning, and if you're not winning, that's the.
I think that would be a massive mistake from.
No, I do too.
Steelers,
but the Steelers have been prone to be making these mistakes. They, like I said, they paid.
They just made a couple of stupid decisions. That's a GM. Hopefully, the owner can recognize that he's got a good head coach and
I hope that he doesn't.
Right decision.
I mean, I hope that he doesn't end up taking most of the hit, because I think his saving grace is that he doesn't have Ben Roethlisberger this year.
Yeah. So I'm trying to find the Jay Gruden coaching tree, because like I forget, it was at one time when he was with like his first year with the Redskins, he had Sean McVay.
Yeah,
it was like Cliff Kingsbury. Another like
it wasn't
not Cliff Kingsbury. the
guy for the
Packers
Hitchens.
head coach.
Oh,
49ers head coach too,
LaFleur.
right? Matt
yeah,
LaFleur.
Yeah, it was LaFleur, the 49, and it was the Miami head coach. It was like all those head coaches were a part of his coaching tree before.
Not Miami, because they're all undefeated right now. All of the guys underneath the guys underneath him are undefeated. Those 3 guys.
Jesus.
I do before I
they're all 9-0, and then he's 0-3.
Before I pass the torch on to you for baseball, I do just want to cover one little stint here. Jonathan Taylor, running back from Wisconsin, torched Michigan this past game.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
yeah, I remember you sent that text, and it was on at the gym.
Jim Harbaugh, man,
and God,
like that dude is on. Like his seat is beyond hot.
Yeah,
but I think this dude has a potential of winning the Heisman this year, which isn't something that we see very frequently. Jalen Hurts, he was a transfer from Alabama playing for Oklahoma. And he has a huge chance to win the Heisman, which would keep it there for 3 consecutive years. College football has been pretty exciting up to this point.
It has been. Yeah, there's been a couple good.
Unfortunately, SDSU took their first loss this year to Utah State. They just got
they always start the year out really strong, and then they kind of taper off a little bit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
but it's looking like the Ohio State. I know Dean had picked Ohio State at the beginning of the year, and they're looking really good. Clemson still looks great. Obviously Alabama, but college football definitely off to a good start.
Yeah, did you guys see the University of Georgia Bulldogs quarterback? His name's Jake Fromm.
Yeah.
And they had that
Jake from State Farm.
They had that State Farm thing. It's like Jake from State Farm.
Yep.
It's like, what are you wearing? Khakis?
God, they aired that commercial way too long.
Yeah, but that was funny. I like that one.
They played that one so long. State Farm, I will say this, State Farm probably has the best commercials.
Better than those freaking Navy Federal commercials.
Yeah.
I could do without
I can't
those.
stand those. My sister likes to make tiny food. And
this is the Andersons. Yeah, my sister, she got a great rate with Navy Federal.
We were over here overseas, and then I got a great route.
Now we're going to Maui.
Yeah. I'm tired. Yeah, I don't like those. But, all right, yeah. NFL Week 3. Any Week 4 foreshadowing? Anybody big that you're seeing? Brandon, you have anybody on your team that you're excited about in fantasy?
Oh, God. I mean,
gotta be his tight end.
I'm just hoping somebody just doesn't get hurt one week. That's what I'm hoping for. It's just a reoccurring thing. I've lost somebody every week. It's pretty brutal out there, and I just would love for my team to stay healthy.
I think this Sunday night matchup between the Saints and the Cowboys is going to be a phenomenal game.
I was going to say that would probably be my pick. Was my boy Dak Prescott's been throwing down.
Vikings and Bears, you got another huge matchup there. Excited to see this Browns-Ravens game too. It should be some smash mouth football. So there's some pretty good matchups going in. Bills-Patriots, both 3-0 teams. And then tomorrow night we got Eagles and Packers. Packers still trying to stay undefeated, so we'll see if Aaron Rodgers can keep the magic alive.
I feel like the line is too. I feel like it's too Eagle heavy. Like the Packers are only 4-point favorites.
Yeah, and you get 3 for being a home game.
Mm-hmm. I honestly, if I'm taking the bet, I'm definitely putting pretty heavy on the Packers there.
Yeah, I'm excited for my matchup this week in fantasy too. Just
I'm not
taking on Matt. Should be good.
Oh God, you're catching Matt, handicap Matt.
Yep, right after you lost Saquon.
Right after you lose Saquon, it's just kind of like beating up a cripple. It's just not fair.
That's a bad analogy. that was tough.
That's aggressive.
He's a cripple. He just lost his best player.
I know, but say beating up a cripple, that's tough.
That's what you're gonna do right now.
Thanks, man.
Don't
put that on
You're
me.
favored by 22 points on him right now. Don't act like this is even up for discussion.
All right, well, let's go over to some baseball. I'll start it off with some Fantasy Reality MLB edition. First up, we got the AL wild card is going to end in a 3-way tie with the A's, Rays, and Indians. Be one of the first times we see a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go fantasy because I don't want to see that play-in game for a play-in game.
Like last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Ever since they switched to this new wild card format, I feel like we're seeing more of that type of stuff. But
Yeah, two-way tie.
honestly, yeah, I think it's exciting, but at the same time, honestly, I really wish baseball would change its formatting. I don't know if they need to do something with these older ballparks to get them more enclosed if they're in colder weather cities or what. But I think playoff series should be longer in baseball. I think they should be 7-game series. And if you want to do this wild card game, it should be a 3-game series. It just seems like the season's way too long just to condense the playoffs.
Yeah, do it into a 1-game.
Yeah, 1-game playoff and then a 5-game series. Like we had was it last year? The Yankees played the Astros in that 5-game series, and like both these teams should be playing 7 because these are really great teams. These are two of the best teams, and they're squaring off. And 5 games is not enough to tell who, in my opinion, who's the better team.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, that's why I've never liked that first round of 5. I think it should be 7 throughout.
Yeah, no, I agree. More baseball is better.
Yes.
Yeah. Number 2, Pete Alonso is going to break the rookie home run record. It was set 52 by Aaron Judge a couple years back. Alonso's at 51 right now. 5 games left.
I mean, odds are he's going to break it because he's going to at least tie it.
He's close, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say fantasy, or I'm gonna say reality.
So if he has to hit 2 more than you're saying in the next 5.
Yeah, he has to hit 2 in 5 games.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I could definitely see him pushing at the very least. Winning it, that would be kind of a little bit of stretch, but I wouldn't put it past him because that dude won the home run derby in his rookie year.
Yep.
And he's just on another level, and he's hitting in a hitter or a pitcher friendly ballpark too. Like that's one of the things I think that's not talked about enough is that's consistently considered a pitcher friendly ballpark, and this guy's putting up power numbers that have never been done before.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think that this is it's going to be a fantasy. I think he'll tie it. I don't think he'll take it over.
Yeah, I think he could definitely tie it. I don't think that I would disagree with anybody on that.
All right, and then my last one is Ronald Acuna Jr. is going to have a 40-40 season.
Where's he at currently?
I don't know. I don't have that statistic.
If you're going to ask those questions, you better be prepared.
Let's look it up.
Well, she's already there.
Who can get it first? Let's go stats. Ronald Acuna.
Well, he's already at 40 home runs.
Yeah.
41.
It's just his
37 stolen bases. I'm gonna say fantasy.
You don't think he can get 3 stolen bases
I don't
by the end
think
of the
he's
year?
gonna play enough.
That's right. They could take the foot off the gas pedal. I think it's one of those things where you ask the player what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Risk
injury.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always think it should be up to the player for the most part.
They're 5 games behind the Dodgers for the number 1 seed, and they're 6 games ahead of the
Yeah,
Cardinals
these games mean nothing to them essentially, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I don't know. It just depends.
Be cool to see.
Yeah, it depends on how competitive he is. I think like you see certain players. We talk about Tom Brady. It's really impossible to pull him out of a game because he's so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can make the same argument about certain players too. And I don't really follow Ronald Acuna too well, but I could very realistically see him telling coaching staff like, "Hey, I want to be in.
I want to get this.
I want to get this."
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think that definitely could be a reality.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's a fantasy just because of
Like
where
what
they
Ryan
are in standings. Yeah, exactly what Ryan said. But it would be really cool to see get done.
Yeah,
Just
that's kind of
overall.
where I'm at too.
Yeah.
I would love to see it, so I'm going to put the good vibes out there.
All right. And then let's get into some Padres news. Padres part ways with Andy Green. Obviously, it's something that we've been saying for a while that it's that needs to get done. So it's.
Let me ask you guys, what was your initial reaction when you saw that? Because I think we're all in agreement. I think we're all in agreement. I mean, I feel bad for the guy because I think he's a really great guy.
Yeah.
But
I just think that no, you're absolutely right, and I don't mean to I always forget that people are listening to us, and it's not just us bullshitting, but it's it's not that he lost consecutive, like, 4 straight seasons or had losing record 4 consecutive seasons, that you didn't see any improvements.
Yeah.
And you constantly were, mind-boggled by the lineups that he put together and the pitching decisions.
That's
that he
The
made.
pitching
it.
decisions drove me nuts. The fact that he lost the locker room last year
This
Will Myers
season,
talking crap on him over Fortnite and stuff like that.
This season, the things that he's done with the lineup, game in, game out, and then things he's done with the bullpen is just lost it for me. You're in a position to develop these young players, but instead you're kind of just doing a wild card shuffle with it every single time.
Yeah.
I mean, take Francisco Mejia as an example. I mean, the dude clearly earned the starting catcher position.
But he did get hurt. They pulled him out of the lineup. But
no, I know that, but I just mean for after the first half of the year, it was his to lose. So whether that's injury or production, and you just constantly saw those. We're going to sprinkle Hedges in here, and that kind of seemed to be the norm. Now next year going in, if it's a 70% Mejia, 30% Hedges, I'm fine with that. I think getting that defensive production in there is essential. But
at least with the rookie pitchers or something.
Yeah. That alone just goes to show that there was never any consistency with what he was doing. Yeah. And that's all you want to see is you want players to get in there, get it consistent.
There was no method to his madness. No. And I think that drove me nuts too, because it seemed like, okay, well, we called up Luis Urias, but it seemed like he was getting sprinkled in for the first half of the year. Yeah. Now all of a sudden the team's in tank mode, and now he's finally getting at-bats on a consistent basis. Yeah. And it seemed like that was the case with a number of positions on the diamond. It wasn't just like Mejia. It wasn't just Urias. It was like outside of Tatis, Machado, and
constantly putting
Hosmer.
Ty France in at third base.
Yeah,
and that's the other one. Is like we have a third baseman for the next now 9 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we don't need to see what Ty France can do there. It would be nice to see what he can do at second base.
Exactly. And we talked about it a little bit beforehand off the podcast about Ty France playing second base, but that was a guy that was like, he needs to, especially after Tatis went down, he's a guy that needs to be in every day at second base. I mean, his production in AAA was, through the roof. That guy was hitting like almost 400 at one point.
Shortstop and France at second needed to be an everyday lineup.
Aside from just like the position players too, it was the bullpen management. The guy would have a pitcher go out there in 3 straight games and try to like I don't know how many times, what's his name? Not Craig Stammen. Well, him too, but Kirby Yates would have to go out for 3 straight saves.
Or like Trey Wingeter, he was out there every day,
all the time, and you're like,
days in a row.
Like first off, these guys would get lit up. And then, they would have to that obviously weighs on you as a pitcher, because you still remember when you got lit up for 5 runs in an inning. You know?
Well,
and it kills your ERA.
Really
and everything.
Weird situations too. It was like, all right, game 3 of a 3-game series, he got racked yesterday. It's like, all right, maybe he doesn't need to face this lineup again.
Yeah. And it would be like, okay, we all have the day off tomorrow. Let's use up our entire bullpen because everyone's going to rest tomorrow.
Yeah. Or
let's not extend this pitcher beyond an extra inning.
Yeah. Or we just came off of a rest day, but let's have Kirby Yates do a 6-out save.
Yeah.
And it's like,
okay, you're going to burn your lifeline.
And I feel like
why are you overusing?
I feel like I'm beating a dead horse on this one, but even when we had Franmil on the team, and it was just like, how long did it take us to get Hunter Renfroe and Franmil Reyes in the lineup on the same day?
Yeah.
I mean, it was within the first, not till the second month of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, okay, well, these are definitely 2 of your most productive bats up to this point. Why are they not both getting consistent at bats?
Yeah. It's just, when you have a young ball club, I think you need a manager who commands respect of his players, and the players look up to him as someone who they can envision leading them to a championship.
Somebody that sets the standard. I think that you look at the Padres team and the amount of inconsistencies that we saw across the board this year, and a lot of that dwindles down to what our manager was doing. And it's like, all right, it's your spot to lose. He never had that mentality. A player would go out and have a phenomenal game, and the next day he's riding the bench. So it's like, we're not playing
there's no reward for being.
It was doing, he was constantly
tinkering.
We're gonna, it's a better matchup to play this person. It's like, fuck the matchup. We're not winning games.
Yeah,
and we're not even. I don't even think we were that analytically driven either. It just seemed like, I don't know. It's like there was no rhyme or reason for his decisions.
I agree. And
I feel like this is a move Preller had to make because it's going to be him next. They can't figure it out.
Yeah, no, the time to win is next year. Yeah. And honestly, I kind of felt like the writing was on the wall probably going into the year unless he did a great job.
Yeah.
Like if he didn't get us
unless we were like an above 500.
If we were like 500, I bet you'd still have his job right now. But
no, I agree. I wouldn't be happy about it, but he would still have his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he's a great guy though. Like I feel like I look at him, I'm like the way he speaks and he presents himself. That's how I feel like most managers should be.
He's gonna be a coach in baseball.
Yeah, like, he'll find another spot.
And I'm sorry if we're like ragging on this guy and like saying that he's the worst freaking coach ever. He's not. Like he was put in a terrible situation for the past 3 years. Yeah. And the biggest thing is that you have to see improvements, and we weren't seeing any improvements.
Yeah. But Rod Barajas stepped in. He's had a tough.
He got his first win on Sunday. Seth Mejia Breens.
Yeah.
Hit that walk-off jack.
Mm-hmm. But it's hard. Then he goes into a series against the Dodgers and
Diamondbacks.
It's like he has a tough stint to like finish the season off with. I know initially or in earlier podcasts we were kind of talking about him being the new head coach for us. But now it seems like there's a lot of names floating around.
I'd have to get aggressive because there's going to be some vacancies. Bochy's retiring. Ned Yost is going to retire. Like, you're gonna, and then I'm sure somebody else is going to get canned.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen in freaking Boston. So
somebody's getting canned there,
or what's going to happen over in Chicago.
Yeah,
Joe Madden.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's tough. Hopefully they have somebody in mind already. There's several names out there. I know Mark Loretta came up. That's not somebody that I know he's had coaching experience.
Yeah, I'm not high on him either because I feel like I want somebody who's done it before or had some success.
I'm honestly looking more towards like a Madden or Girardi.
What do you guys think if somebody brought this name up? Mike Matheny.
That's another one too.
Yep,
I would definitely be down for some Mike Matheny.
It was Mike Scioscia was on the list. Moises Alou. They even had former Padre Yankees third base coach Phil Nevin in the mix.
Oh shit!
There's a lot of names floating around.
He's done well as a. I know he did really well as a minor league head or coach. I don't know if he was a head coach.
Yeah.
Scioscia would be another one. Just somebody that had longevity.
I just want to
love if Bruce Bochy came back.
I would just like.
I feel like he might be a little long in the tooth, though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. He's. Obviously, we love Bochy. I think I bet you they're throwing his name in there because I don't think he has real consideration. But I think to kind of strike a nerve, like, hey, guys, we're trying to bring this back to the glory days. Yeah,
that'd be nice to see, but. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I definitely want somebody that's been there. I want somebody that knows how to win. As much as like the organization's high on Rod Barajas, I just want to see somebody with experience.
Somebody that knows how to manage stars.
Yeah.
And there's only two names on that list, and it's Girardi and Madden.
Yeah.
And I would actually prefer Girardi at that point. Madden.
I always hear Girardi didn't get along with the young guys, though. That's what I always heard.
My thing was he couldn't win it with the Yankees, who was like a star-studded team. You know what I mean? So it's like if you can't do it there in the spotlight of New York.
If we got him, I'd still be stoked.
I know it's a lot of pressure. I would be stoked. I would be. I'm not going to be mad at it. I'm just saying preference over one or the other. I'd want like Madden or...
Madden's got some fire in him. I know that.
Madden, I feel like Madden, in my opinion, is the logical choice for us, but
we'll see.
He's not even on the market, to be honest.
Yeah,
but his contract's up though, right?
He's gonna be. The freaking Cubs have just fallen apart at the.
Well, they just honestly, that club has been mismanaged from the general manager, though. Theo Epstein, I thought, has done a horrible job managing this ball club.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to have to elaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy has made some really awful free agent signings that have really derailed this team, and he's made some really boneheaded trades too.
Let's backtrack to the free agent signings. Which ones are you?
So, Darvish has not panned out so far.
Definitely.
Jason Hayward has been
at the time,
an albatross of a contract.
But at the time,
Lester has been less than fantastic.
Got him a World Series.
He got him one World Series, but this ball club, in my opinion, was primed for more than one World Series.
No, I agree. I think that they ended up in a situation like they were trying to avoid what the Yankees ended up, where you had all this, older talent, and you paid them a lot of money. I mean, obviously Hayward wasn't old, but Lester was, and then you're going to start seeing talent dwindling. I don't understand the Yu Darvish signing at all. I never thought that he was a valuable asset.
Yeah, Yu Darvish was just hard. He was a guy that just had a lot of promise, and it was just...
Yeah, he got lit up in the World Series, though, and that was one of those things. His value was at an all-time low, and I think they thought they had that Padre mentality where like, oh yeah, we can buy low on this guy type thing.
We can turn him around.
Yeah, and then obviously like they traded away like Gleyber Torres, and they unloaded they traded for Chapman and then just let him walk. Those are type of things that...
that was a different situation, though. That seemed like something more or less like, hey, man, we're trying to win right now. Like that was more of a negotiation with the Yankees.
Regardless, I think the ball club was primed for more than one World Series run, and now all these guys are going to get paid, and I feel like they're kind of capped where they're going.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I definitely don't think that he's the worst.
No, he's not horrible, but he got him a championship, so you can't say he's totally horrible. But
and I think
they should have been primed for more.
And
but it's like
look what
baseball.
He did with the Red Sox too. I mean,
baseball's grown in like a massive rate of just like young talent that we've seen since the Cubs won a World Series in like 2013 was it?
Just all the young players coming up. Yeah, I think things are going to change.
Have to make a change. At the time, it was hard to predict the amount of talent that was.
And there's some things that just didn't pan out for him. Like Ian Happ didn't pan out the way that they wanted him to. They still have Bodie, who I think is a phenomenal utility person over there. But they really just got derailed with injuries at the end of this year.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, Javier Baez, and then who could predict everything that was going to happen with what's the
Cardinals?
Name? No, the second baseman.
No, I don't.
Ben Zobrist?
No, the other guy. The guy got in trouble for domestic violence.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. No, you're talking about. I can't remember.
Obviously, how irrelevant he's gotten. So
yeah, I agree. But I mean, I definitely think that the way things are going now, Madden is going to be on the block.
I hope so.
Yeah. So we'll see. But,
take them off your hands, Cubs fans.
Yeah.
Well, there's also saying too that if Madden ends up out there, that the Angels would replace Osmus with Madden.
I was hearing Giants too, which I don't want to hear, but
no.
Yeah.
So they got to start making moves fast.
Do you guys think that there's any possibility of Dave Roberts being let go if the Dodgers can't make it deep into this playoffs?
I've been saying
I could see that
frequently.
happening.
I think that if they lose another World Series, I mean, you hate to. I mean, I just think that if it were, it happened with the Bills, back in or
the
70s or whatever, and different day and age, but like it's Los Angeles, and to get that close that frequently with a roster that is continuing to get better. I mean, they got more young talent on that team than anybody else in baseball. So,
what drives me nuts is they just call up these guys who aren't even like highly regarded prospects, and they just flourish up there.
Will Smith, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Every time he gets called up, I've already said it.
Well, Justin Turner is the same thing. Max Muncy's the same thing. All these other guys get called up, and they just light the world on fire. And we have all these studded top prospects come up, and they just, outside of Tatis and Paddock, they just kind of like. Or whatever,
They're just run-of-the-mill guys. Yeah. Well, all right. That's kind of all I got for baseball. I had the stat of the week this week, and it's electric.
Electric.
You guys ready for this?
Electric slide.
Stat of the day, stat of the day, dabba-dooba-doo, stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that what? Stat of the day. Bop.
You guys remember Matt Hasselbeck?
Yeah.
So he didn't.
Baldy.
Yeah. He didn't get struck by lightning once, but twice.
Damn.
Think about how unlucky that is. You get struck by lightning twice.
Yeah.
Damn. So
he must be an idiot though. He's like standing out in the rain, it's like a thunder with like a wire coat. That's what I'm picturing.
He was standing on
Come on, guys, strike me with
the
lightning.
tallest point in a flat town.
Well, it
Like,
saves him. He doesn't have to get his hair cut anymore.
Oh, that's the real.
That's the
electric
real
hair removal.
That's what it's all about, you know.
Oh man. Well, all right, everybody. We are the Three Amigos and a Podcast. Find us under 3A anywhere you listen to podcasts, and we will be back next week.
Dean, have so much fun in New York.
Thank you. I will.
Nueva York.
I will.
Have a good time. Eat some pizza.
All right. Bye, guys.
Later.